What up, the New World, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Back like I never fucking left, man. The first BFN Report of 2021. Glad to be back, glad that y'all tuned in. You know, who else gonna get y'all that real, man? Who else been giving y'all that real? You know you're gonna get it from me, you know what I mean? So check this out. The new president, Joe Biden, whatever, I gotta say new because this is the first one of the new year that we've done, right? Joe Biden actually has declared a major disaster declaration for certain parts of Texas due to the winter storm that hit the United States by storm literally last week, where it actually cut off the power for millions of people, created water shortages, and it actually left 70 people dead. This is just throughout the United States, not specifically to Texas, but in Texas, you know, they got it bad, especially with the power outages or whatever. You have in Conroe, Texas, you even had an 11-year-old boy that actually died from freezing in his fucking mobile home. Now the mobile home actually had lost power or whatever, so that happened in Conroe, just like a bunch of other homes had lost power in like the Houston area. His family is actually filing, and the kid's name is Christian Pavon Pineda. His family's filing a wrongful death lawsuit saying the government actually put profits over the protection of the people. Also, you actually have an 8-year-old boy from Honduras migrating with his family or whatever, trying to cross the Rio Grande from Mexico into the U.S. that actually died, you know what I mean, and trying to do so or whatever, trying to cross that freezing ass river or whatever. So, you know, his that family was actually returned back to Mexico, them being immigrants trying to, you know what I mean, smuggle their way into the U.S. and all of that or whatever. But there's a bunch of outrage in Texas due to the fact that the winter weather actually triggered these skyrocketing motherfucking electrical bills. You're talking about skyrocketing like SpaceX, you know what I'm saying? Moving on up like George and Weezy, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is, you have one dude that has an electric bill that's for like 16 G's. So it's putting people in these crazy scenarios, and you're talking about a failing electrical system. Are you freaking kidding me? Now, keep in mind, the White House has actually said that the winter storm last week was so bad, everybody is familiar with it now, whatever, most people are, but it was so bad that it actually delayed the delivery of some 6 million vaccines for COVID-19. We're going to get into those soon. Green War and graduation, though. What up, the New World, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report, man. Yeah, you see me in this BFN shit, man. Make sure you check out blackfoxnews.com/shop to actually go get you one. Raise the consciousness level up of those around you, even yourself when you're looking in the mirror. You know what I mean? You see that voice for the people, man. You got to wear that with pride and with integrity. You know what I mean? And definitely continue to support us. We continue to support y'all, giving y'all this real. Now, check this out. The United States is, we already know by far has the highest numbers is dealing with COVID-19. And it's going to continue that way or whatever, because we're about to actually cross the 500,000 death toll to the COVID-19. Like, it's more than 500,000 people will have died from COVID-19, you know, very soon. So that's obviously alarming or whatever, troublesome. But the COVID-19 numbers apparently are declining as far as daily deaths and new cases. But scientists are saying, like, you know, that's not the time to just be getting relaxed with, you know, social distancing or wearing masks or whatever, because you know, these highly transmissible coronavirus variants are still, like, we're still at high risk of, you know, getting those variants. So, you know, we'll see how this turns out. In Washington, D.C., though, the House of Representatives is actually supposed to vote on the COVID-19 bill, that $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief package this week. And included in the bill, you have assistance for an extension of unemployment assistance, assistance for small businesses, money for schools, state and local governments, vaccine distribution. There's even something in there about a minimum wage increase by $15 an hour. But according to Politico, and shout out to them or whatever, you know, reputable news outlet, they actually said that they caught Joe Biden basically saying that part of the bill is not likely to make it to the final bill. So we'll see how this turns out. I don't know who the fuck idea that was, whatever. We can't even get it to $15 an hour off GP. So why? They playing games, though. We'll see how this turns out, though. Green War and graduation. What up, the New World, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in the United Kingdom, you actually have the Prime Minister Boris Johnson that's actually about to announce that next month, you know, which will be in a week actually, but next month they're gonna start easing coronavirus lockdown restrictions, as a lot of people have actually been receiving the virus with actually 1 in 3 people in the United Kingdom are said to have actually taken the coronavirus vaccine up there, whatever. And also you have early data showing that there's a slowdown in the community spread of the virus. So you got that going now. Over in Iran, it's interesting because the U.S. got all sorts of sanctions in Iran and all of that, whatever. But they actually have a vaccine called the Cove Iran Barakat or Bearcat. You know what I'm saying? Bearcat is always interesting because that's something I say when bitches don't wear no panties or whatever and they got jeans on and all of that. You Bearcat, you know what I mean? But I don't think that's what they're referring to. But with that, they're saying that their COVID-19 vaccine is showing a 90% effectiveness rate in their small scale early trials, right? In other news surrounding that, you have Israel that are actually trying to buy doses of Russia's Sputnik 5 vaccine. And they're going to do it for Syria in exchange for an Israeli woman that's detained by Syrian officials. So we'll see how that plans out. And then over in Bolivia, in South America, you actually have healthcare workers that are protesting, or people are outraged about the emergency healthcare law that they have in place, where the government is basically saying that it is illegal to go on for healthcare workers, medical staff to go on strike during the pandemic. And people saying that's unconstitutional. Keep in mind, a lot of times you've seen over the past year, even me reporting it, whatever, where like in different industries, people have protested against the establishment for not providing enough protection for the workers or whatever. And this happened in medical staffing as well, even in the United States. So they're looking at this as unconstitutional and inhumane, but we will see how this turns out. Green, war, and graduation. What other new world, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. So despite threats of more violence from the military, or this particular military junta, if you will, or this military group, in Burma, you actually have hundreds of thousands of people that actually took to the streets today protesting against the military coup that went down on February 1st. Now, keep in mind that this comes just a couple days after there was actually a military protest that led to the death of 2 protesters, including a 16-year-old. And that death came from just military just basically letting off on a crowd of peaceful protesters in the city of Mandalay. So, and then on the day before that, on Friday, there was a 20-year-old that actually died as being the first casualty of these protests that are against the military coup after succumbing from gunshot wounds that she suffered from earlier in the month. Green, war, and graduation. What other new world, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. So over in Thailand, you actually had anti-government protests still going on throughout this weekend. You had these youth-led protests have been ongoing against the government and the monarchy, basically demanding democratic reform. And over this weekend, they still going on. Even after comes after lawmakers actually rejected a bid to remove the prime minister from power after a no confidence vote. Basically, a no confidence vote is like they got to get you out of there. They have no confidence in you to actually do your job, and they lawmakers still rejected that, and that person's still in power. We'll see how this all turns out. Green, war, and graduation. For the new world, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. So over in Ecuador, you actually have conservative banker Guillermo Lasso actually advancing to the second round of the presidential election that's actually scheduled for April 11th. And we will be facing off against, or is scheduled to face off against, Andres Arauz, a leftist economist. Now, you have the indigenous candidate, though, Yacu Perez, who's actually only lost by like less than half of a percentage point to Lasso, who's actually calling on his following to actually protest and dispute the results and demand a recount. We will see how this all turns out, though. Green, war, and graduation. What other new world, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. Over in the United Kingdom, you actually had Britain's top court has ruled that these set of Uber drivers, there's 25 of them, who actually sued the company in 2016, will actually be reclassified as company employees instead of being classified as self-employed. This entitles them to minimum wage, holiday pay, and other benefits. So while the ruling only affects those particular Uber drivers, a lot of labor rights advocates are like praising the decision and feeling like it's going to set a precedent for other gig economy workers. So we will see how y'all feel about that, though, because I am curious to understand what is the argument for these types of reclassifications, because that also I can see both sides of it. I can see how that it might deter business. I can also see how that protect workers. So Green War and Graduation. Report out of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So you have the United States basically saying they will remain, or they have reaffirmed their strategic defense partnership with Saudi Arabia, despite Saudi Arabia's crazy human rights record. I mean, over the past few years, over the decade or whatever, you have Saudi Arabia. They've been warring with Yemen, whatever, causing one of the worst humanitarian crises in history. You got millions of people over there, dealing with starvation and all of that, all from this war going on from the people that geographically live north of them. Now, you have Lloyd Austin, black man chief for the Pentagon or whatever, brought in by Biden, actually talking with Mohammed bin Salman, the Saudi crown prince, on Friday, basically saying that the U.S. is still interested in helping them protect their borders against Houthi rebels, the people that have been fighting on behalf of Yemen. Also, on Sunday, you had the state-owned arms manufacturer for Saudi Arabia agreeing to do a joint venture with American defense contractor company Lockheed Martin. So we will see what comes about that. Green War and Graduation. Report out of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So Joe Biden's pick for the U.S. Attorney General, Merrick Garland, is actually going to appear before the Senate Judiciary Committee today. Now, we are 5 years removed from when the majority Republican Senate actually rejected Barack Obama's nomination of Merrick Garland to be the Supreme Court Justice in that seat that actually would have replaced the late Justice Antonin Scalia. Now, keep in mind that he's actually expected to talk about how he's going to oversee the January 6th insurrection that took place at the U.S. Capitol. We will see how this turns out, because this week actually is going to be the first time that the Senate actually has hearings on the insurrection. And, we'll see how this goes. We know we know what type of time the Republicans on, because at the end of the day, they wrong as fuck. So if they say they're wrong, they're going to have to take some accountability, and they're not going to do that. But, you heard it from me. Green War and Graduation. Report out of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So right now, the Biden administration, or Joe Biden specifically, is going to have a little trouble trying to get near attendant into the management role of the Office of Management and Budget, because you have Joe Manchin, a Democrat from West Virginia. That senator said he's not going to vote for her. So that means at least one Republican would have to actually join the Democrats in voting for Tandon to be in that seat. But you have a lot of progressives, like, for example, one progressive group, Roots Action, that are urging all the senators not to vote for her, whatever, due to her ties with corporate America and, support for actual welfare cuts. So as far as them corporate America, I mean, who up there doesn't have no fucking corporate American ties? You know what I'm saying? Except for my man Bernie, you know what I mean? But, we'll see how this all plays out, though. Green War and Graduation. Report out of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So, at the San Diego-Tijuana border, the U.S.-Mexico border, for those who are dumb as fuck, I don't know. They actually have allowed for the first 25 asylum seekers who were told to remain in Mexico as part of Trump's Remain in Mexico policy have been allowed to enter the United States, where their immigration cases are being processed. So it's just like, finally, shit is calm. You know what I mean? Hopefully it's not the calm before the storm, like how Trump was saying, that ominous shit Trump was saying, right? And he definitely knew a storm was coming. So how much did he know about all this COVID shit and, war shit that was going to happen after he said that? I don't know, something to think about. Green War and Graduation. Chief Reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. And I got some news for y'all. This is big. You got the family of Malcolm X actually demanding a reopening of the investigation into his assassination after new evidence has come to light. What is this new evidence after decades of this happening? I mean, he was murdered in 1965. You talking about even recently you had the Malcolm X documentary coming out about the assassination of Malcolm X or whatever. So it's like, what new could be coming out? Well, former police officer, black man, Raymond Wood, actually had wrote in a letter on how he was manipulated by New York police and the FBI into actually assassinating or partaking in the assassination of Malcolm X. Now, this happened, he wrote this letter, he did not want it to be released until after he died. So this apparently his deathbed letter or whatever, and now that he's died, his cousin Reggie Wood actually read the letter at a press conference or whatever, and on this past Saturday, a day before the death anniversary of Malcolm X, right? And in this letter, it basically says how he was tasked with luring the two security team members of Malcolm X into committing a felonious crime so that they could be arrested. And he did so, Operation Statue of Liberty. He did this on February 16th, 1965. The two men got arrested, and therefore they weren't there to protect Malcolm X on February 25th, 1965, when he was in the Audubon Ballroom, where he was eventually assassinated. So that's some deep shit. It basically also reveals how the FBI and the New York police definitely left out key details in dealing with, or the assassination of Malcolm X, and what the public actually knows, or has the information that they actually have access to with regards to the assassination of Malcolm X. Big shit, man. And that lets y'all know, because I know a lot of people might be inspired by this Judas and Black Messiah, movie or whatever. Like, so for all y'all up and coming Black Messiahs out there, trust me, I know how the shit feel, whatever. It's like, y'all need to know, y'all, you already know how the lengths that government will go to, but now it's time to start to think strategically how they moving about doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? So everybody stay lit, stay woke, and stay focused, man. Green War and graduation.